So I've ordered a new carpet for the Civic, and I have not got shipping confirmation yet, but I want to be ready when it arrives. So I would like to clean this. All the stains that were on the carpet came from somewhere, and whatever the fluids were, they leaked down past the carpet and past the center console onto the floorboard. So I'm gonna clean this out and get ready for the carpet. I'm gonna try and get rid of all this wiring that I'm not going to use probably ever, and I don't know where it goes, so I'm gonna pull out the radio and see if it goes back there, because I didn't see it in the engine bay. Let me check one more time. Yeah, it doesn't go in the engine bay, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if it's behind the head unit. It goes to nothing. So that should be all of the wiring that I do not need. But I do need my radio, and I love my hands-free setup. One of the best things for me with these older cars is setting up the Bluetooth in the hands-free. So I'm gonna plug that back up. So now it's time to clean. And I don't know how easy it will be to clean, but I'll get started. I'm gonna do it section by section and really focus on the areas where the spills and debris would congregate first. And hopefully it'll look real nice when I'm done. So I've already vacuumed it, so a lot of the debris is already gone. Now, got some diluted cleaner. This is some degreaser I've had for a long time. I'm just gonna spray and start wiping and see how much comes off. I didn't go too crazy cleaning the floor. I used paper towels, cut up old t-shirts, the diluted cleaner I mentioned earlier, and when I needed to, a brush. After that, I gave it a wipe down with a wet rag, and then came behind that with a dry rag. And then I called it good enough. So I got the inside clean enough for me to install the carpet. It's not perfect, but the areas around the center console that was just nasty are pretty clean now. I need to clean up the mess I made, and then I can open the new carpet. If you haven't seen the previous videos, this is the old carpet that I pulled out, successfully cleaned for the most part, and then got a little too aggressive on one section and blew a hole through it. So now let's take a look at the new one. So I chose a different color. So far I like it. I wonder what it's going to look like in the car. That's a much prettier blue than it looked like on the web. This is supposed to be molded specifically for my EJ1, but we'll see. What I plan to do is place the old one on top of it, trace out the holes so that I know where to cut. And hopefully when I put it in, any trimming that I have to do will only be on the edges. The new carpet came with instructions, and they say to let it sit for a few hours so that it can take back its original shape. Although I'm impatient right now and I'm ready to get it back in, I'm gonna do that, so time to wait. I've let the carpet sit for about half a day, and it has taken some of its shape. What I'm going to try and do is sit the old one on top of it to use it as a template to trace out the holes I need to cut. So let's see how that goes. Well, that looks like about the best it's gonna do. So I'll use the old holes as guides, and I'll cut a hole that is in the right location, but smaller than it needs to be, and just see if I can trim it the rest of the way while it's in the car. So now I'm going to trace the locations out with my Sharpie. I got a sister who just loves Sharpies. Well, I think that covers it. The edges seem to be pretty close, so I'll have to do those when I get the new carpet in the car. All right, let's see what the lines look like. So you can sort of see the lines I drew. Again, they will be smaller. You can always take off more material, but you can't put material back on. It was time to make my first cuts. I started off using a blade, but I can see that that was going to take a long time, so then I got some shears and it helped, so I ended up using a combination of the two. And now that I'm playing with it, I'm realizing it may be harder to trim than I first thought once it's in the car. I'm gonna try this to get a hole started. It may be easier than the blade. After I made my initial cuts, I compared the new carpet to the old to see if I missed anything, and I did. There were 3 holes that I missed, so I repositioned the old carpet on the new one to mark the spots for the missed holes. For the most part, the holes are lining up pretty good, and I can already tell it was the right thing to go small because some of them aren't lining up perfectly. All good. But what I will do, I'll make these splits here. Well, I think that's enough for tonight. I want to do some trimming. I really want to do a trial fit, but sleep is important too. So I'm going to stop there. If you'd like to see how I finish the carpet install and the other work I do on my EJ1 Civic, hit subscribe. I'll be documenting everything I do to it on this channel. Thanks for watching. Take care.